Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today I'm finally data logging the car. This is something that I feel like I should have done a few months ago, but I feel like it really hasn't been that long. But it's hard to believe, like, I got the tune back in August of last year. So it's been a few months, and this is something that I would recommend that everybody does it. If you're gonna tune your car, I feel like, and especially if you're gonna beat on your car or get on your car consistently, if you're gonna drive it hard often, you might want to do this. Personally, I really haven't been driving this car too much, and then usually when I do drive it, I just kind of daily drive it. I don't drive it, hard. I don't take it to the track or anything. I don't go to Mexico and do some pulls. If I do get on the car, it's kind of just if I'm gonna get on the highway, or if I need to pass somebody, or whatever the case may be. I just kept pushing it off, and I feel like it's time for me to actually look into the car and make sure it's running right. I want to have that peace of mind to know that the car is running like it should be, making the full the actual power that it needs to be making. All right guys, so what you want to do is you want to open up your MHD app, and then you're going to see tune, monitor, and codes. Codes is if you're going to be reading, if you want to read for any kind of codes that your car might have, if it has a check engine light. So monitor, you want to go to either you have the option of doing manual logging or auto logging. And manual logging, obviously you hit when to start and when to stop. So auto logging, I might be wrong, but I think it's once you go 50% throttle, that's when it starts logging. So it makes it a lot easier, because once you go full throttle, it'll automatically start, and then it'll stop obviously once you let off the throttle. So you don't have to worry about letting off the gas and hitting stop and whatnot. So this just makes it a lot easier. So more than likely you'd probably want to do auto logging. First you want to go through here, and it lets you pick all the things that you want to monitor. And I actually have mine set to the default channels, which I just went with what MHD had as a default. I'm assuming they have everything that's really more important. But if you want to get more into details, obviously you have other options here that you want to, or that you're able to keep track of, like the battery voltage and things like that. So that's where you pick your options. Let's see. And then we have the gauges layout. Gauges layout is how many gauges you want to have in a row. So I have mine set at 4 gauges. So it'll split it up in 4 gauges up top, 4 gauges at the bottom. You can do 1, 2, 3, or 2 gauges up top, 2 gauges at the bottom, whatever your preference is. So once you have that selected, and then this is where the neat part is. Obviously, once you go to, let's say, auto logging, so it's connecting to the DME. All right, so here's the gauges where you can actually pick whatever you want to choose. And right now nothing's showing up because the car is not on, but once I turn it on, it's gonna start reading like all the other options that I have. And if you want to change your gauges, which all you have to do is just go to boost. Let's say for this one, we want to change this one, the one that says boost PSI. So you can either do bar type, sweep, mechanical, and this is where you just kind of pick what gauges you want. You can lay them out however you want. So just for example, we'll switch to a mechanical type, and then there's like pretty much your old school boost gauge. I'm more of a fan of the bar, so that way it just reads the normal, kind of like a digital gauge. So yeah guys, that's pretty much it. It's just a quick brief explanation of how the monitor or the logging data works. And obviously once you're done logging, you can go to graph a log, and it'll just put all the pulls that you've done, and then you can just open them up, and it'll show you kind of like a brief description. And then what you can do is there's an app that you actually have to make an account of. So you have an app which is Data Zap Me, and what you can do is you have your files on your device, and then you just upload them to that app, and then it'll just kind of give you, it'll store the logs there for you, and then you can send them out to whoever you want to send them out to. And then that way they can take a look and make sure everything is running right if you're not sure what you're looking at. So it's pretty easy to use, very convenient, because like I said, you can use it to read the DME codes and then reset the codes as well. So this is very beneficial, guys. If you're interested, I'll show you guys kind of how it works, and let's go ahead and go do some pulls. Alright guys, so it's been a couple of days since I last recorded the other clips, and the reason why I'm kind of continuing the video is, for one, I've been kind of tied up with work, and also there was an update from MHD that I didn't even know about. So once I sent my logs to MHD, they told me right off the bat to update to the third and sixth gear fix, which from my understanding, I think that just gives you consistent power all the way through the gear. And I have to say, I can actually feel the difference. I went for a drive after I did the flash, and I wasn't recording, I didn't have my camera with me, but as soon as I did it, I could feel the difference. So it's something that you guys, if you haven't done it, if you're running MHD, you might want to look into that, because it's, it's a difference maker. So I'm gonna go ahead and go for a little drive, get the oil temperatures a little bit warmer, and then we'll do some pulls, and I'll show you guys the logs from before and after. that's gonna do it for today's video. Hopefully you found this informative or entertaining in some kind of way. And if you're running MHD and you haven't logged your car yet, I highly recommend it. I kind of pushed it a little bit too long, a little bit longer than what I expected. It just kind of, the time went a little too quick. And the thing is, it would cross my mind, but I would forget about it just because I don't really typically get on my car like that. You always got to remember that not all cars react the same. So it's better to check it, see how your car's running. And for $100, you really can't go wrong because you can actually log everything, and you can also check codes up. I actually had a code pop up like around the same time that I was doing my log, and it's something, it's a minor fix. It's actually covered by BMW, so it has something to do with the I forgot what it was, gas pressure. I don't know. I'll put it somewhere here. I'll put it here for you guys. So it's something that if it happens to go bad, it doesn't affect the way your car drives. I guess it's just a sensor in some kind of way. It's like a little valve. But yeah, I think that it went bad on my car, and I accidentally cleared the code, so I'm gonna be driving it a little while and see if the code comes back on. But yeah guys, I was able to read it with that because when I ended up using the MHD software to read the code, and it gave me an exact description versus using a regular OBD2 doctor. I think that's what it was, and it was just kind of giving me a rough idea of what it was. So it's another thing that you can actually use it for. So like I said guys, you pay once and you always have it. So with the thing that I actually had was I paid $24 to use it once, and it's for a year. So the thing is it doesn't give you an exact point. So it's good for if you have other cars to have, but for MHD, if you have a BMW, I highly recommend that you get it because it gives you a better detailed description of what the code is. But yeah guys, that's gonna do it for today. Like I always say, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.